Welcome back, students. We will start our next chapter, that is chapter 16, light. So, in class 7 you studied about light and reflection of light. What is light? You know, light is a form of energy that helps to see the beautiful world around us. It's a sensation of vision. So, light is a form of energy that produces the sensation of vision. And so, that is about light. It is a form of energy that helps in the sensation of sight. Just like heat energy, light is also an energy form. Then in class 6 and in class 7, you studied about the rectilinear propagation of light. That means the light travels in a straight line. That is known as rectilinear propagation of light. An activity is given here, that is, when you view through this tube, the light will pass through it and you will be able to see the candle flame. That means the light travels in a straight line. Here in the second activity, a bend is there in this tube. So, when you view through a bended tube, you will not be able to see the candle flame. Means the light get blocked here. The light get blocked here. The light get blocked here. So, we will say that light travels in a straight line, and that property is known as rectilinear propagation of light. So many activities are there. This one is the only one I mentioned here. Then, how do we see things? So, normally luminous objects, non-luminous objects are there. So, light is produced by a luminous object. Example here, the sun. So, the light from the sun reaches this tree. So, when light falls on an object, some part of the light is reflected back or some part of the light will be sent back. So, if that reflected light reaches our eye, then we will be able to see that object. Suppose if I want to see, if I am seeing it, if you are seeing me or if you are seeing any object, means light from a luminous object should fall on this object, and from this object reflected light reaches my eyes. Then I will be able to see this pen. So, light from a luminous object will fall on this pen, and the reflected light from this pen reaches my eyes. Then I will be able to see this pen. So, what is meant by reflection of light? When you throw a ball to a wall, the ball will bounce back. In the same way, when light incident on objects, a part of light is sent back or bounced back. So, that is known as reflection of light. The bouncing back of light from a highly polished smooth surface, that is known as reflection of light. The bouncing back of light from a highly polished smooth surface, that is known as reflection of light. So, almost all polished smooth surface will reflect the light. Metal surface will reflect the light. Water will reflect the light. Ice will reflect the light. So, here we are using a mirror. A mirror will reflect the light, or a mirror will change the direction of the light. Suppose this one is a direction of incident ray. This one is a direction of incident ray. That ray from this luminous object, this one is a luminous object. So, from the luminous object, the light will fall on this mirror. This is a mirror. So, what will happen when light incident on this mirror? It will be reflected back or it will be bounced back. So, when light incident on this mirror, it will change the direction of the light. The direction of the light get changed. So, this is the direction of the reflected light. So, that is known as reflection of light. So, bouncing back of light when it falls on a highly smooth polished surface, that is known as reflection of light. A mirror changes the direction of light ray falls on it. A mirror will change the direction of light ray that falls on it. Then terms related to reflection of light. Terms related to reflection of light. This one is a mirror. It is a mirror. This is the incident light ray. Normally we are dealing with straight line propagation of light. So, we will draw the light in the ray form in a straight line with an arrow mark. So, that represents the direction of the light ray. So, this is the direction of the incident light ray, means the ray of light which falls on the mirror, that is the incident ray. The ray of light which falls on the mirror's reflecting surface, that is a incident ray. Now, what will happen when light incident on this mirror? It will be reflected back. So, this one is a reflected ray. That one is a reflected ray. So, reflected ray, the ray of light which is sent back by the mirror. The mirror will send back the light ray which falls on it. That is known as the reflected ray. Now, where this incident ray meets the mirror, this point, that is known as the point of incidence. That is known as the point of incidence. The point at which the incident ray strikes the reflecting surface of the mirror. Suppose if I draw a mirror like this one is the incident ray. So, where the ray incident the mirror surface or the point at which the incident ray meets the mirror's reflecting surface, that is known as the point of incidence. Normally, we will represent it with the letter O. Normally, we will represent the point of incidence with the letter O. Now, normal. The normal is a line drawn at right angle to the mirror surface at the point of incidence. Normal is a line drawn right angle to the mirror surface at the point of incidence. Suppose this one is a ray. Normal means if you draw a line right angle to this line, this angle is 90 degree. So, this ray or this line is normal to this line. Okay, this line A is normal to this line B. Okay, so in this way, from this point O, that is a point of incidence, from here I will draw a line. From here I will draw a line. So, the angle between this normal and the mirror reflecting surface is 90 degree. So, this one is a normal. So, angle between the normal and the reflecting surface is 90 degree. So, here this one, this dotted line represents the normal. Here you can see the angle between the reflecting surface and the normal is 90 degree. Now, angle of incidence. So, this is the incident ray, this is the normal, this is the incident ray. This angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of incidence. It is always represented by the letter, small letter I. So, if I draw a mirror like this one is a incident ray. Now, at this point I will draw the normal. So, this one is a normal. Incident ray is represented by the letter I. Angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of incidence. It is represented by the letter, small letter I. Angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of incidence. It is represented by the letter, small letter I. Now, this one is a reflected ray. This one is a reflected ray, represented with capital R. Here in this diagram, this one is a reflected ray. So, angle between the reflected ray and the normal. Angle between the reflected ray and the normal, that is known as the angle of reflection. So, here this is a reflected ray. This angle between the reflected ray and the normal. So, that angle is known as the angle of reflection. It is denoted by the letter, small letter R. It is denoted by the letter, small letter R. So, terms related to reflection of light: incident ray, reflected ray, point of incidence, normal, angle of incidence, then angle of reflection. Incident ray, the ray of light which falls on the mirror's reflecting surface, that is the incident ray. Reflected ray, the ray of light which is sent back by the mirror. Then point of incidence, the point at which the incident ray strikes the mirror's reflecting surface, that is a point of incidence. Now, normal, if you draw a line perpendicular to the mirror reflecting surface from the point of incidence. If you draw a line perpendicular to the mirror surface from the point of incidence, that is known as the normal. Now, angle between the incident ray and the normal, that is known as angle of incidence. Angle between the reflected ray and the normal, that is known as angle of reflection. Now, laws of reflection. Two laws are there for the reflection. First one, the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence should lie in the same plane. Should lie in the same plane. So, this one is a mirror. This one is a mirror. Okay. Suppose you consider this book. This book, it's a reflecting surface. You consider this one as a mirror. So, a ray of light which falls on this mirror, it will be reflected back. So, incident ray, reflected ray and the point of incidence should lie in this plane. Should lie in the same plane. Not behind the paper and not above this paper. Okay. So, here so many pages are there. So, each page can be considered as an each plane. Each page can be considered as an each plane. So, I am considering only this one. This is the first page. So, incident ray, reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence should lie in the same plane, not on this side of this paper or not above the paper. It should lie in the same plane. Then second rule, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. That is the second rule. Here you can consider this one is a plane. So, incident ray, reflected ray, this is a point of incidence and this one is a normal. All this lie in the same plane. Okay. Then angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Now, I will draw a mirror like this. Normally mirror will be drawn like this. This portion is a non-reflecting portion. This one is a non-reflecting portion. This one is a incident ray. This one is a reflected ray. This one is a normal. If this angle is 30 degree, if that angle is 30 degree means angle I equal to 30 degree. What is the angle of reflection? What will be the angle of reflection? Angle I equal to 30 degree. As per the laws of reflection, angle I equal to angle R. So, what about the angle of reflection? Angle R also 30 degree. Okay. Angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. Then one more question. This is an incident ray. This is a normal. This one is a reflected ray. This angle is 40 degree. The angle between the reflecting surface of the mirror and the incident ray is 40 degree. What is the angle of reflection? Find the angle of reflection. Find the angle of reflection. What's the angle of reflection? So, if you want to find the angle of reflection means first we need to find the angle of incidence. What's the angle of incidence here? Angle of incidence is, we know this angle is 90 degree. The angle between the normal which is drawn at this point, that is point of incidence. Normally we will represent it with the letter O, and the mirror surface is 90 degree. So, what about this angle? Angle I, we will write it like this, angle I equal to 90 degree minus 40 degree. What is the answer? It's 50 degree. So, as per the laws of reflection, angle I equal to angle R. So, angle R equal to 50 degree. Okay. It's clear? So, two laws are there for reflection of light. First law, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Second law, the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence should lie in the same plane. Should lie in the same plane. Okay. Thank you.